Welcome to DEADPOOL-IFY, a series where I take characters from across the multiverse and turn them into Deadpool. I've made Mando Pool, I've made Deadpool the Duck, R2-D-Pool, the Masked Pool, even Queen Pool. So sit back, relax, and let's get to DEADPOOL-IFYing my next character. All brought to you by the very handsome and talented KG Customs. Let's get into this. Let's DEADPOOL-IFY Wolverine. I'm planning on using this old Wolverine custom that I did that has literally just been sat in a box for years now. The only issue is I've got to try and get this paint off somehow, and I read up online that isopropyl alcohol works, so we'll give it a go. I'm going to break up the paint a little bit by using this abrasive sponge. And now to pour a mega pint of isopropyl alcohol. And to make sure to not be an absolute watermelon and actually put on the lid. So I've left this for about an hour now. I've come back. I'm just going to give it a quick check. And yeah, so far so good. Now I got a little bit too excited there. I thought this was going to be quite easy, but I've had to put in a lot of work to try and get it to this point. So you can imagine it's going to take a lot more. Now I'm hoping breaking the figure down completely will help getting the paint off. And I mean, it won't hurt to try, so may as well. Just going to use a hairdryer to help soften the plastic and allow me to pop the joints out. Now the figure is completely broken down. I'm going to put it back in the bath of isopropyl. I'm just not going to leave it too long because I don't want it to damage the plastic. Man, this took a lot of work to get to this point. And there is still a little bit of paint here and there, but I'm not too bothered about that. It's only small amounts, so it's something that I can work past. I'm just so glad to be done with this part, and now I can move on to the next step. Looking at a few images of WolverinePool, I've noticed that his claws are quite long, and we don't really get anything like that from Hasbro. So I'm going to be making my own claws using these toothpicks that I picked up a while ago for the sole purpose of they look like Wolverine claws, and I'm so glad to get to use them now. And they already somewhat fit into the holes made for the original claws, so all I need to do is replicate the connection point, this little end here, and that should be it. So I've just traced the connection point onto the toothpick, and I'm just using my plastic nippers to cut that out. In the end, the prototype did end up failing, but I was able to refine the shape using some files, and they work perfectly now. If you want to make these claws for yourself, check out my shorts. I released a tutorial quite recently. Now to make them look a little bit more Wolverine-y, I'm going to recreate the shoulder pads that we got with the one from the Apocalypse Wave. They're not going to hinder the articulation, and they look great as well. I'm going to start off by tracing them onto some paper. Now I can cut them out and make my templates for my left and right shoulder. I then trace my templates onto some styrene sheets, and then I can cut them out. I can then use some files to refine the shape. Now I've got them nice and symmetrical, I just need to figure out how I'm going to start bending them. And my first bride's idea was a hairdryer. You can see that didn't really go to plan. So unfortunately I had to start again, but this time I just rolled it out over my X-Acto blade handle, and this worked out much better. And to help it retain its shape a little bit more, I left them in these clamps overnight. Now with all that out the way, I can move my focus onto the head, and I want to try and take some of these features away. I want to try and retain the lip, but get rid of everything else. So it's a little bit flatter, so I can use some milliput to make the bottom half look like a mask. Now my advice is, if you ever do use milliput, make sure you've got a little pot of water so it doesn't stick to your hands as much. The boy who lived has come to prime. Now that it's primed, it's brought up a lot of imperfections that I need to sort out. For this, I'll just use some more milliput. And now, because I'm an absolute watermelon, I forgot to hit record when I started doing the shoulders. But what I've essentially been doing is drilling corresponding holes into the shoulders and the shoulder pads. I then take a styrene rod, stick that into the shoulder pad, and then stick that into the shoulder. I then trim it down and do the same for the back. To glue them I use contact cement as this creates a stronger bond, and then I just either use some milliput or just sand it to make it smooth. Now everything is where I want it to be. I've got my accessories made, I've got all my alterations done. I think it's time to get to painting. For the red, I chose to use the Vallejo Air Red, and for the black I use Vallejo Surface Primer right out of the bottle. I did try my hand at a little bit of pre-shading, but I don't think it came out very well. But these have had time to dry now, so the figure is finally ready to be put back together so I can do the rest of the painting. All the parts and the pins for the action figure are left in this pot, but I didn't put a lid on, and I dropped an action figure on top of it, which flung everything everywhere, so I've lost a lot of the pins. I did manage to find most of them, but I've had to rob some from different figures. So yeah, lesson learned, lids. Just put lids on things. Now that the figure's been assembled, I'm ready to start masking everything off. As you can probably tell, I went a little bit crazy with the masking tape, so I'm using a pigment liner here just to create the lines of Deadpool's suit, which I can then cut out. And I'm trying my best here not to put too much pressure on it to cut into the action figure itself. Instead of failing to make the tiger stripes myself, I'm just going to trace the ones that we got on the Apocalypse Wolverine. Just while I do this, I would like to remind you to subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I've got lots more nerdy content planned for the channel, and for now all I need is your support. And for those who have already joined the ever-growing KGCU, I truly appreciate it. Alright, let's get back to it. To keep these lines nice and crispy, I'm going to hit it now with some clear coat just to lock them all in. I'm now going to hit it with the same black as before. This is the Surface Primer from Vallejo. It's really good stuff. And everything gets a nice liberal coating of this. Time to see if the clear coat has done its job. See if these lines are nice and crispy. So far so good. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Let's cue the masking tape montage. Unfortunately, I'm having to come back in with some more black as the left side wasn't really matching with the right side, so I'm going to try and even them out. And just while I had the black out, I thought the eyes could use a little bit more DEADPOOL-IFYCATION. DEADPOOL-IFY'ing? Now let's get to work on the belt buckle. For this, I'm just using Revvell Aqua Colour Black. I'm really trying my hardest to make this work, but I'm not liking how it's turning out. I'm thinking maybe if I add the white of the eyes, maybe that'll work. So let's do that. And while I'm here, I may as well paint the actual eyes as well. Oh, that's just instantly screamed Deadpool to me. These eyes are looking fantastic. Still not sold on the belt, but I really do like the eyes. So I've caved. I was trying to make the mashup symbol work, it just wasn't. So I've just painted it the regular Deadpool symbol. I also painted the strip on his head as well. Thought this would give it a bit more character. Not that he needs it. Now I'm going to come in with some Vallejo air gunmetal and hit some of the buckle pieces. Now I know you're supposed to use these through an air gun, but I really do like using these as regular paint. They've got great coverage and they dry silky smooth as well. Now, I'm not going to do any weathering. I want him to blend in with other Marvel Legends in my collection. So all I need to do now is to lock everything in with some clear coat, and then he's pretty much done. Before we get to the final reveal, I just wanted to say thank you for watching my video to this point. It truly means the world to me. And I want to know, what Deadpool would you like to see me make in the future? No universe is off limits, so leave your comments down below and I might just make it happen. Even if you think it's silly, it's not. I will make a Teletubby pool. I'll make a Jar Jar pool. I'll make a Phil from EastEnders pool. Just watch. Let me know. And now for the final reveal. So that's it for this video. I'm really happy with how he turned out, but let me know what you think down in the comments. If you want to support the channel, all I'm asking for is to share this video, like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I'm KG, and no matter where you are in the world, I hope you have an amazing day, and always remember to stay nerdy. I'll see you in the next one.